Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Somebody Said TV. This is your girl, Kathia Devon, the moderator, career coach, and I feel like nowadays a lot of y'all know me as the producer, but my favorite title is mommy, and we're having my daughter's 4th birthday party this weekend, so it's lit from here on out. Jenna, how you doing?
I am doing great. I cannot believe we are at a season finale of Somebody Said TV. What a ride. What a ride. Welcome, you guys. Thank you for joining us. As my bestie and apparently boss producer said, I am Jenna, also known as Overdressed RVA. I am influencer, creative director, Sire Her Collective, wife, boy, mom, and member of the Beehive. And I would just like to say happy birthday to Beyonce's homecoming. Thank you for making history and giving us something to celebrate during this time. So yes, welcome. Thank you.
All right. So I'm the political commentator of the show. I'm Corey Boone, but people are now calling me the manager. And one of our special guests is asking for a royalty check. So I don't know what's going on with that. But I sincerely just... Right. But I wanted to say thanks. I'm just so excited for this show and so excited for our special guests. And as I have said in the last couple of episodes, the views and opinions expressed in this show by anybody that's on the show is not the views and opinions of our employers.
Amen.
Thank you.
What up, y'all? I'm Shalina, Dr. Her by day, your resident Philly Joan by night. People started saying I'm in these streets based on my co-hosts calling me out on these last couple episodes. Your girl has been out here vaccinated but still being safe, and I'm ready to get it popping tonight. What's good, y'all?
Well, what's up, family? As Jenna mentioned, this is our official season finale. And for those of you who have been rocking with us, we're sorry for the mix-up. We're a new show. But we have a special episode for you all. A lot of you were able to join us, so we are looking forward to our wonderful guests. And this edition, we're calling it Throwback Thursday because it's going to be, you know, all kind of back in the day things. So we'll be going over some SSTV stuff, talking about some of our favorite celebs from back in the day or whatnot, and just kind of giving you all a overview of what the Somebody Said TV, you know, how it works and what it's like. But it's funny because when we started this show, we were like in the height of, I guess, an entire ongoing race war. We literally did our first live with you all the day before the anniversary of the March on Washington when everybody was in DC. So here we are in April, and Corey's going to go ahead and give us a political check-in, but I thought that it was, you know, kind of ironic, or the timing of how we were talking about George Floyd when we first started, and I believe today the defense and the prosecution rested their cases. So it all feels very full circle for us. So go on, Corey, what you got for us today?
Yeah, I mean, you explained it pretty well. It is one of the most eerie and frustrating things to see that we are still here and still dealing. So even after we had saw and all were shocked and devastated by what we saw back in May with George Floyd, we're still having these issues. I'll just rattle off a couple of names, not for disrespect, but more so for brevity. Daunte Wright in Minnesota, of course, we know that he was shot and killed just miles away from the trial. The Derek Chauvin trial. We also had the lieutenant who was stopped in Windsor, Virginia, which scary enough for me. That's a road that I take sometimes to go back home, which is at 460 in Virginia going down south. So we also know that Pamela Turner was killed back in 2019, and her family has now just filed for incorrect murder. That's not the correct phrasing for it, but basically wrongful death. Yes. And then we also have the story of Anthony Thompson Jr., who was a 17-year-old in Tennessee who was shot by police. And then most recently we had a Black trans woman by the name of Dominique Luscious, who also was killed recently at only 26. So we still have these issues. We still have these problems. We are still dealing. And, you know, my fraternity brother Shane has said, you know, you've gotten back to normal in America when you have started to see these cases to come again and again and again. Mm-hmm. And that has been really frightening for me. And I want to make sure that we all are taking care of our mental health, because it is truly, 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 truly overwhelming on top of everything. So, if I were to say something to part away with, it's just take care of yourself. That's one of the things that I learned this week, trying to talk to different people in my community. And one of the things that I noticed from a couple of folks is that I had to basically be the voice of reason, or the youth voice, or the voice of the millennials, when I was talking to some members of the older generation and trying to explain that even though I applaud and am so grateful for what happened in the civil rights movement, that unfortunately we have seen peaceful protests today be totally disrespected. Mm-hmm. And so now you have this anger in the streets because we're tired. Yeah. We're tired. And none of us should feel like we can't get home. And I think that's been the most frustrating thing for me is trying to explain the anger that we're seeing on TV miles and miles away. So I know we want to keep this show really light and fun, but it's always an interesting standpoint as we get to this point. And I certainly want to bring on one of our first guests today, Crit, to kind of ask him some questions, because I love to hear his perspective. But actually, I want Shalina, who is Crit's friend, to give us a short introduction of who Crit is, because he is an amazing person that needs to be introduced.
Yes, larger life now. What up, Crit?
Hey, what's up?
Crit is my homie, my road dog. We got through grad school. Talk about cultural climate. We did grad school in a very rural part of Pennsylvania. And he was one of the few people in the community that made me feel like I had family right there. Even though I was only an hour from Philly, you would have thought I was in the middle of nowhere. We call that part of Pennsylvania Pennsyltucky. And Crit,
that's not a good thing.
It's not a good thing. And
a compliment.
Crit is just a breath of fresh air. He is someone who just brightens up every room. He has great energy. He has done so many things, but he is most famous for just being a socialite and a celebrity. I had the pleasure of accompanying him to many celebrity events on MTV in Sydney, Australia. I'm just excited to have him here. But on top of just like all the great things he does and just being on social media and being a socialite, he's also a social justice advocate.
Absolutely.
He's culturally sound. He is a true ally to Black and brown folks. And I'm just excited to have him here. What up, boo?
Oh, what up, boo? Thank you so much. That was a lot to take in. But yeah, I'm just really honored that you let me come on the show. I've been stalking you guys for a long time, and it's like, man, now I got my chance. Now I'm. This is so strange to see like a fifth screen. I'm like, man, I made it. No, thank you so much for having me.
Crit is like, listen, he's flattering us. But I have to say, the thing we brought Crit on because he has a very unique life experience that I think is different from a lot of us. He was born in New Zealand, and as Shalina mentioned, he has had fame in Australia. So we want to know, with everything that you hear about America, I know right now, the joke is that we're a joke, whether it's racial injustice or how we're handling the coronavirus. So, Crit, I want to hear from you. Like, why America? Like, what is your motivation to like be here, live here, experience this life? Yes, stay here.
I just I'm inspired by so much of the creativity here. you know, without sounding like a culture vulture, but I really do have so much love and respect for just the Black excellence, you know, and just so much of the intelligence, the creativity, the resilience, and that's helped me through a lot of my healing and a lot of my advocacy, and it's helped me on my journey so much. And I came out here to study originally. That's where I met Shelina, and then, you know, I did some stuff back home. I was in academia, and then I was working in television. And the first chance that I could get back to the US, I took it, you know, and so and so that's why I'm still here. Yeah, but I do also want to acknowledge that, you know, people talk how the US is crazy and stuff like that, but there are crazy white people in every country, you know, like that's not unique to the US. There are problematic, like trash, you know, in New Zealand, in Australia, like you name it, like we got it, you know. There's no country that hasn't been affected by, you know, the myth of white supremacy and just all the violence that comes with that and all the oppression and you know, so you know, don't worry about that. Like, we got our fair share of crap out New Zealand too. You know, people paint it as this perfect place, but it certainly isn't. Yeah.
Well, thanks. Oh, go ahead.
No. I was just about to say thank you so much. I mean, just having a different perspective and kind of understanding that we're not alone in trying to have this fight when it comes to righting some wrongs and resolving some injustices. So thank you for all that you do. Thank you. Oh man,
you don't have to thank me for nothing. But I also want to acknowledge, you know, like I'm Samoan, you know, and so I also want to be clear that, you know, as a Samoan in the US, I do not live the Black experience, and so there's that part of the privilege that I carry, and so, you know, I don't exactly have the threats that other people have. So when we talk about why the US, like, that plays into it, I am not in the same danger that, you know, the Black community is, or the Native American, you know. So I think that's also something that I just want to offer too.
Well, thanks so much, Crit, for sharing with us. You're always so thoughtful, and we look forward to your feedback. And I know that you're going to like the next part. So we're going to say bye for now, but make sure
I'm going to be watching from my phone, so don't worry about that.
All right. Later, Crit.
All right. Love you guys.
See you. Love you.
All right, y'all. Well, it's time for us to pick it up a bit. And
it made me emotional.
Oh,
yeah.
Like, Black excellence is like globally recognized for the United States. Like, that was,
and
he lives and breathes all of that. Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. His whole presence is definitely aware and really appreciated. But I wanted to say, you know, right now this is our moment to celebrate. We all know that unfortunately there was the untimely passing of DMX, but DMX gave us a lot of moments.
Yes, guys.
Yes.
So this part right here, we're gonna go ahead and get into the X gonna give it to him. And I want to know from our co-hosts, and you all can chime in, but let us know, what were some of your most memorable and favorite DMX moments?
Okay, so I go first.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've seen him from a distance, like in New York. Like, I think he was shooting something when I was younger, and I used to go to New York for the summers. But I've never met him. But I know that y'all know that I've, like, been married since I was a child. Like, I've never, like, I didn't date. I didn't have, like, a whole lot of life experience. But I did briefly date, like, briefly. And the guy that I dated was in the Back in One Piece video.
Wow.
And he was like, yo, you gotta watch it, I'm in the video. Yes. He was like, you gotta watch it, I'm in the video. Me and my cousin Nathan saw us and was like, you want to be in the video? We were like, yeah. And they're literally like standing in front of the Aaliyah mural.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So like I know that song backwards and forwards because I was loyal. You know?
That's actually one of my favorite, like, DMX moments. You know, Aaliyah's a vibe, and, like, you know, she really connects, whether it's men or women. Like,
yeah,
I love that moment. You got to see both sides of DMX, you know, a softer side of it. But I would say that's one of my faves. Somebody said him growling and growling.
Period. And that's so the growling and barking, that's a great segue. And Dana's one of my childhood friends. So she knows I have been in love with DMX since I was in the 7th grade. And I don't have a favorite moment, but one of my favorite images when I think of him, I think of the Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood album cover and how amazing he looked drenched in blood. I don't know why. That just did it for me. I was like, yes. Like,
I mean, How's It Going Down is my favorite. So that album.
Yeah.
He's just, I mean, and then when that man started praying, if I didn't love him before, once that man started praying at concerts, on shows, on albums, on interlude, you just expected you a prayer from that man. He loved God. You're absolutely right. So, yeah, it's just his spirit, his energy, his growl. That
it was iconic.
All of it.
Yeah. It was iconic. He was iconic. And I want to
his voice was nobody else's. Like, iconic.
Iconic. For sure. No, Henry's point about the Christmas carols will stay and remain one of my favorites from DMX. And I think that one of the things that we all came away with is that we celebrated, we loved, and we adored in our own ways DMX because he just was such he was iconic. He was one of a kind, really. I mean, there were like him before or after.
Yep.
So I think that, all the tributes are befitting. Very befitting.
Y'all know Lily, she's kind of Rough Rider adjacent since she's from Philly. And you
already know, First Lady of the Rough Rider.
Yes, here she goes.
I was like, where's this going?
Okay. Listen, we can't talk about DMX without having New York in the building.
Hi. What up, fam?
Hi. Everybody say what's up to the Hergs. Look at this daddy-daughter duo.
Yeah,
all day.
Love it.
The best.
Well, Nelson, you grew up in New York, and I feel like that this was a really poppin' time. So can you share with us, like, which you most remember or your favorite DMX moment?
My favorite DMX moment was 98, and Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood dropped. And I was on the subway going to Nathan's where I worked out in Coney Island, so that was an hour train ride. And
wait, hold up, where he met his boo?
Yeah, my princess. Yeah,
no way.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so I had the CD brand new, ripped it open. I'm on the subway. I popped it in my Discman, and I'm for real, just like Shalina said, like the cover alone, I was like, oh. And then the first song, my nigga, I was like, oh, okay, let's go. And then he was praying on there, and I said, oh yeah, Darkman X, this is the dude right here. So definitely memorable moment because one, I met my boo at Nathan, so I will never ever forget that. You know what I'm saying? And then just the whole album is iconic. You can listen to that today and still be in love with it.
Yes.
Period. 100%. Well, thanks.
And you teaching your youngin' good music, right?
Yeah, definitely Lil Nelson. He got like the 90s vibe. Y'all met him, so he definitely has that. I'm working on my baby Madison.
I don't know that many DMX songs, but I do know his.
But she helps us stay young too, so it's a two-way street.
TikTok for sure.
I about to say, Maddie will give you that choreography on the TikTok, won't she?
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. If you've ever seen me do like a video on TikTok or whatever, 9 times out of 10, Maddie got me together. So.
My very first TikTok was with Maddie and Kathia. So thank you.
And I want to say just like Crit, this is a huge honor. I'm super nervous right now. The whole backstage experience, like, y'all superstars in my eyes. Mark my words. Mark my words. Y'all gonna be big. Y'all gonna be great. Watch. I'm telling y'all. It's dope.
I'm so happy that I'm finally on the show. I've been waiting for this moment. I've been waiting for this moment.
Yeah, I'm excited.
We've been waiting to have y'all. We've been waiting for everybody to see the co-hosts who interact with us and who hold us down. Like, you guys have always been there. You always interact. You always give us even more than we even planned for, and you make it better. So it's an honor to have y'all.
Yeah, absolutely. And here, fun fact, they have been here from the beginning. We did a test show, and I was actually at the Herc's house in their basement. And they was just like, what was y'all doing down there? But since we made this official and we got on YouTube, y'all have been there every step of the way. So what we want to do, we want to start off with y'all, but do with the rest of our co-hosts here too. We do want to give y'all the opportunity to just ask us some questions about the show so we can talk about some things that's happened on Somebody Said TV. And I'm going to start with my beautiful niece, Maddie. Is there anything that you had that you want to ask, like myself or the other co-hosts or all of us?
This is a question for all y'all. I want to know what was the story behind y'all just all coming together and saying, we want to do the show. Like, what is the origin story of Somebody Said TV?
Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to hold that question because I have to let you go because we're about to play an adult game. But that's the first one that we feature. So everybody say bye to her.
Thank y'all.
Oh, yes. Toast.
Yes, they were ready.
Yes.
All right. So next up is Truth or Drink. Y'all can ask us any questions, and we're going to go ahead and answer your questions. They can be individual questions. They can be for the group. And yeah, y'all can, if you feel comfortable answering, go ahead. If not, take a little sip. But we'll start off with Maddie's question about how this came together. And I'll share, I think this is probably why they call me the producer. So here's the thing. Back in quarantine, there were these different lists going around. And one of them asked, like, what would your job be if you weren't doing what you do now? Something like that. And Corey said that he would be a talk show host. So Corey says that he would be a talk show host. And then Shalina chimes in like, yeah, I always wanted to do that too. Meanwhile, me and Jenna, like back in 2007, we actually started like a blog that was similar to this.
Oh, that's right.
It was Jinx, You Owe Me a Soda. And we would talk about a lot of the things that we're talking about now, except for obviously we would write them and we had a website and all these different things. So I don't know, with all of this in mind, I was like, I think we could do a little something. It's quarantine. Like, let's get together and make something happen.
We did. Back in the day, like we would talk about Flavor of Love.
Yes.
Cool. Like this is how long ago this was. Like this was like when you could have Facebook and not be a college student.
Oh wow.
That was that year.
The beginning.
So, it just worked out. And I have to say thank you to Kathia because I wouldn't know Corey or Shalina if it wasn't for my Kay. And she's literally the best friend that I have in my life. No shade to y'all, but she brings the best people together. So thank you.
She's
for being honest about your dreams. Shalina, thank you for adding another job to your resume.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to get into a couple of these questions here.
Yeah.
I cannot. And I'm glad that you highlighted his question.
I mean, the game is truth or drink. We would do truth or dare, but, like back in the day. But since we're all on video.
Can I be completely honest with y'all? I didn't even know a thigh gap was a thing until Crip pointed it out. I think I sent him a picture of me in Florida and I had on a little two-piece bathing suit. Didn't post it. I'm not thirst trapping. Your girl is staying humble. So I sent it to Crip. We talking. He's like, okay, thigh gap. And I'm like, thigh gap? I'm like, that's really a thing? So then a couple other people said it to me. Okay, when I had on shorts. Okay, thigh. So the thigh gap.
Who is calling out this thigh gap?
It doesn't matter. It is. I didn't know nothing about the thigh gap when I had thicker thighs. Now that the thighs is a little slender.
Come on.
How has her life changed? It's not about the thigh gap. She's a whole package. She's a whole vibe. So I think it's everything. I think the thigh gap is just one piece of the puzzle. And I can't say that it's changed things significantly, but I appreciate you all making me aware that that's a thing. I mean, yeah, it does feel good to not have the thighs rubbing. I will say that.
Come on.
Okay, so wait, did Shalina actually answer the question?
I did.
How has your life changed? Though?
How has your life changed?
How has your life changed?
That it's changed. I mean, I didn't even know that was something that could change my life. I mean,
oh, okay.
But have you started wearing less and going out more?
Absolutely.
Then it's
and there it is. And there it is.
All right, let's get into. I feel like this is a question for Jenna. Thanks, Amy J. What's your worst Beyonce song?
And you got to pick one, or you want?
Yes,
I have one.
Okay.
It is 1+1.
Really? I like that.
I like that one too.
Vocally, I think that's a strong song for her.
What I said.
I'm surprised.
I am actually surprised by that.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
I'm gonna drink anyway because I don't say anything negative about Beyonce except when she's acting.
She's one drink on that, and that's that on that.
Anybody else got one for that?
I can't.
Dominique said that's yes, that is her worst song.
No way.
I like 1+1. Daddy's Girl is
all
the
from
oh
goodness.
Like, I like when, you know what sells me on 1+1 when she was practicing in her dressing room with her backup singer. She sings it a cappella. I think vocally, I was like, okay, babe. Like she sings 1+1, and it's that video. I think Hove like take it on his phone. That's what sold me on 1+1. I think. So, but I mean, as the president of the Beehive, Jenna, I'm surprised. Okay.
So I feel like people are coming at things that you know that they know you love. Somebody said, "What would you say is the worst show on Bravo?"
Well,
no. I'm sorry, I said that backwards. If you only had to watch one show on Bravo, what would it be?
Atlanta.
Absolutely.
The Real Housewives of Atlanta.
I hate that song too, Jay. I'm sorry. We had a chat.
They don't like
I
that.
like that one. That is
Henry loves that one too, but it's just
it's a little annoying though. As I think about it, it's a little.
I can't sing and you. I can't sing that. That don't sound good, but I can sing.
I don't hate this song. I know the question wasn't asked to us. I don't hate this song, but when you asked that question, you know what came to mind for me? Check Up On It. And I don't hate Check Up On It. I know I don't. It's just like that's not one of her best songs. Like,
I mean, it's not one of her best, but that's like
I can do without it. But I like Check Up On It.
We're looking for a fourth host now because Shalina's getting fired.
I told you I did not say it. Wow, who was your fave Flavor of Love girl aside from New York?
Corey, one. Did you see the question? Who was your favorite? 1, 2, 3. Boots.
Boots every time. Let me tell you something. I don't know what her real name is to this day, but I hope she's doing all right. Boots is it. Since 2007, I've been rocking with Boots ever since.
My favorite Flavor of Love. Oh Lord. I mean, I like Delicious.
I like Delicious too.
Yeah.
Delicious is cool.
I like Delicious.
Delicious, and the other one, she's been on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta.
Bucky.
Yes.
Bucky, I like her too.
Bucky's cool.
What's her name? Shay.
Shay.
Yes.
Well, we have one of our co-hosts here. Everybody say hey to Ray.
Hey, Ray.
So she's going to ask us a question, jump into the mix. And by the way, so Raven is like our unofficial, official, like fact checker.
Yes. Yes. Thank you for your services. Thank you.
You're welcome. You are welcome. So my question is for Kat. As the moderator, what has been your most frustrating moment on the show or with the show?
Damn, that's a good one.
Most frustrating or annoying moment?
You know, it's funny because two of our co-hosts got a little uncomfortable, and I think they know what it's going to be. The Brandy and Monica versus. So, let me tell y'all this.
Yo,
I love Brandy. I love Monica. I listen to their music. But growing up, I was more of a fan of like Aaliyah and like Maya. So, you know, I knew that this thing with Monica versus Brandy was a thing. But I was sitting there like,
it was big for us.
Biggie?
So somebody got upset. Somebody was very upset, and somebody was very prepared to defend a play cousin.
I don't know, but it got real deep that day, and it was already late because y'all know Versus runs forever.
Yeah.
So I'm out here like, yeah, we gotta go next. And it was a school night. It was like a Sunday or something.
It was a Monday. I was at your house. It was a Monday. Yeah.
Yes. The beef was real, so it was a lot for me. But anyway, Ray, thanks for you'll close us out with Truth or Drake. I feel like, you know, we like to talk, so it's always the truth.
Look, we so busy telling the truth. I ain't seen nobody drink. Ain't nobody had no question they ain't want to answer.
I thought Jenna drank for fun.
Jenna
gonna always drink.
I always drink for fun, right? Have we met?
But I was just saying, we always answering the question, so I'm good. I want y'all to ask a question that we ain't gonna want to answer.
Do you have a question, Dr. Hurd?
I don't have a question per se. I can think on one. I can think of one.
Ray, you got another one for us.
What is going on right now?
Y'all trying to start something.
Ain't nobody your favorite co-host?
Oh,
are you asking all of us?
Yeah.
Who's your favorite co-host?
Can I rephrase that? If we had to do the show with just one other person, who would it be?
Yeah, I knew you were gonna do
that. Well, I will say this only because obviously I've known her the longest, and I feel like we have good banter even when we disagree. So it would be Kathia, because I think I run pretty good with Jenna and Shalina when it comes to idea. Like we're pretty similar. Kathia as well, but when we disagree, like that time that we were disagreeing about Ice Cube.
I'm not going to debate with you.
I forgot about Ice Cube.
Yes, that was the one.
We're okay, and I love that about us.
Always.
Okay. Jenna?
I'm always, well, the thing of it is I wouldn't have the others without the one. So
you gotta pick
anybody, it would be Kathia, because I know that she would still bring me back to y'all. So it does, you know, it's just a guarantee kind of thing. Because Kathia is too nice.
Thank you, Brenda. Thank you.
Choosing violence.
Hopefully Kathia's too nice to pick. The longest.
No, I'm gonna let Lily go. You gonna
I choose violence. Violence. I would choose Jenna, because I think me and Jenna would be a good dichotomy, right? I think we can give some salt and pepper vibes. I think we have different opinions and different views. I think the banter and the conflict would be good for TV. So I would go. I mean, Kathia is easy. Me and Kathia, we agree on a lot of things. We disagree, but we still can agree to disagree. It would be harmony. But I choose violence, Raina, so I would choose Jenna.
I'm ready.
Gang. Okay.
I'm ready.
Well, Raven, now that you started something, I'm going to drink, because these are my best friends.
We have our first drink.
Yeah.
There it is.
So cheers to y'all. Thanks, Ray. We'll see you later.
See you later. Thank you. Y'all.
All right, y'all. So next up, y'all know we love to get into verses, and y'all may have gotten the impression that I hate it, but you know, we're gonna do this We love doing this. And this time, you know, we have some throwback artists, SWV versus Escape. We're all really excited about this one.
We are.
Yes. Yes. So much so that we are recording the show dedicated just to this. So yeah, that's how we are. Because we're
but the crazy thing is how in sync are we that we planned to get together that day before we even knew there was going to be a versus, and then we was like, we're going to be together anyway, so we might as well just do a show. So like that we was in sync, like the stars aligned.
They really did, and it's funny because Henry actually, when I said I was going to Richmond that day, he actually mentioned it to me about us doing a versus. So I'm really excited about doing that with y'all in person. But anyway, co-hosts, y'all chime in. Let us know who you got. I wanted to say that somebody said TV was Team SWV, but there was somebody who wanted to play devil's advocate or whatever. Those
you wanted to choose violence.
Right. Exactly.
So funny. I see some Escape coming through. I see.
Do you?
SWV, Dana saying Escape. What's good?
When I tell you, I'm
okay, but this is something that I said, like hit for hit, because that's Shalina's. You need to copyright it. Hit for hit, like I did say this. I said Kandi does not like to lose. She is very strategic. So it might just come down to song choices. So hit for hit, it's a little murky. It's a little iffy because she could throw some stuff out for some stuff, and they're like, "Well, that's an easy one," and you be like, "My little secret."
What?
Oh,
what? Okay, I see the Escape people chiming in.
What's good?
Okay.
So somebody said, hopefully Tiny won't be locked up before the
first. My God. And so, you know, we talked about this, and you know, I agree that hit for hit, SWV got the hits, the originals and the remixes. But when we were talking, I just thought about, you know, I'm an album girl. Traces of My Lipstick. That's a classic album. Their first album, like. That was a classic Escape up. So to me, I'm just like, man, let's not like play them short. Like Escape, they got some bangers. They write. They got a couple strong vocalists. I just didn't want Escape. I didn't want people to say that SWV was going to smoke Escape. I think Escape can bring that smoke too. Yeah, right. Escape. I feel like they can hold their own in a battle like this. But I've been seeing a lot of people say SWV gonna smoke Escape, and that's why I said, wait a minute, let me not jump on Team SWV too quickly, because I don't want people to sell Escape too short. So that's where that was coming from.
I don't think they're gonna get smoked. I don't. I think it's gonna be really good. It's gonna be a lot of fun, but. Hit for hit. Somebody said that sounds like alcohol speaking. Anyway, hit for hit. I just don't think Escape's biggest songs can go up against SWV's biggest songs and win that round.
Mm-hmm. Dana had a really good comment. Vocally, Escape got it. SWV not smoking, but it'll be close.
I agree, Dana.
Well, we're going to go ahead and let one of our other co-hosts chime in. Hey, Brooke.
Hi.
Hi, girl.
Y'all probably can't tell, but Brooke was a little bit older than us when Escape and SWV were in their prime. So I think you probably have a very relevant perspective for us. Were you getting, courted in the 90s?
So you know what? That was one of the points I was going to bring up, Kathia. Back when Escape and SWV first debuted in like 92, 93, I was a 7th and 8th grader. So I feel like at that time, you're really starting to get into your crushes. You might be paying a little bit more attention to lyrics and songs. And so for me, this was a really tough battle to pick one from, because both these groups did a lot for me for middle school, high school, and through college. So when this battle came up and when Jenna asked me to participate in this, I was like, man, I got to think of, I got to choose one. So
you got to choose.
I thought I got to choose. So I was like, all right, we give this a fair shake. So I listened to both groups' albums again last night. I listened to all of them. I was like, I was SWV. I started with them and I was like, the first album is About Time. I was like, no, Escape can't compete with that. So then when I got to all of my Escape albums, I was like, ooh, wait a minute.
Oh,
especially like Shalina said, when you get to Traces of My Lipstick,
come on.
When you put SWV's first album and Escape's third album together, that's where the competition is. That's what I think. So
that's a good one. Good point.
At the end of the day, I hate to do this. I'm a flip-flopper with this one. So I feel like when you go song for song, Escape can compete. But vocally, I would say if you're just going off of pure vocal talent, I think SWV has it. Like if you just
really?
I do. I'm sorry. Like, if you were to put the Scott sisters, just the Scott sisters against SWV, then there's more competition.
I'm gonna say they're the vocals of Escape. You're right.
Yes. So I love Candy and I love Tiny, and they can sing, but they can't sing. Like I feel like if you just put them together, SWV wins hands. I'm sorry, wins hands. Oh gosh, sorry. Anyways, my lighting went out. I'm sorry. I think
you look beautiful.
I think SWV wins hands down vocally, but in terms of popularity, I think Escape.
Woo, bro.
So they just inch it out. They inch it out just a little bit. I feel like beyond my generation, the newer generation, they might be more familiar with Escape if they're watching Real Housewives and they know who Candy is and they follow her career and they realize she was part of the singing group and they did the whole, Escape reunion tour thing. They just might be a little bit more familiar, even though SWV has had records out since Escape. It hasn't been
she's laying along.
That's right.
Expert witness. This is an expert witness.
Right, exactly.
I am 41. I'm gonna be 42. So I grew up with them.
Yeah.
They have done a lot for my life.
So Brooke, let me ask you though, like you said, you did your research and I appreciate the due diligence because I'm a music person. I'm an album person. So as soon as you said you compare albums, I said she got it. But when you think about how you felt, because Jenna liked to go back, how did you feel 7th, 8th grade hearing SWV against Escape? What were they bringing to you? Like
for me, 7th and 8th grade, it was SWV.
It was SWV.
Like, you got Weak. You got what was some of the other songs?
Right Here,
that whole first album.
It's a greatest hits album. That first album. It's a greatest hits.
It got a lot of songs on there. Anything Into You, all of it. So at that time, it was definitely SWV. I mean, we had talent shows where everybody was singing Weak.
Yeah.
And the talent show. But then, with Escape, they got a little bit more bounce. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think they spoke more to the fun aspect of love and crushes and all that. SWV was just pure baby making. I love my man. You know what I mean?
Okay, I ask you this. You have an anniversary coming up.
Saturday.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
If you could pick a song to dance to on your anniversary, would it be Escape or SWV?
If you had two options.
It would probably be SWV just purely for, like I said, vocals. Just because it just sounds smoother. But
you're a Coco fan because Coco's the only vocalist in SWV.
No, we're not gonna do this.
That's not true. Don't say that.
We're not gonna attack Coco on the show.
Taj does a good job, and I thought that for a minute too, as I was going through all of these albums yesterday, and then Taj played, did lead on a few of them, and I was like,
I love Taj, FYI. I love when she sings. She had more opportunities, but you know what killed it for me when I watched their Unsung, and they said how Coco sang lead and then had to go redo all the background vocals for lead. And I was like, what? Like, that killed it for me.
But see, I think it's different too because some with these R&B groups, they get caught up in the sound of the group versus how they all collectively sound. And at the end of the
background vocals are not the sound of the group.
Wait. But Coco, her voice is very prominent, and I feel like they wanted everything to fit around Coco and how she did things, because ultimately they made her voice the sound of the group. That's all I'm saying.
T-Boz was the voice of TLC, and we still know how Chili and Left Eye sounds. So I think you can build around a sound and still have standout artists in a group. And SWV, they never mastered that, and that killed it for me. I'm like, they couldn't even use their background vocals? Like, that was crazy to me.
You don't think that was management?
I was going to say, like, also, don't we think that the same thing was for Escape? Like, don't we know that the Scott sisters were the main ones? I mean, Tiny and Candy had a couple of parts here and there, but they were the voice. And we have to stop saying the big girl at Escape. Like, she has a real name, y'all.
Her name is Latasha. We didn't say it, but he's saying the public did.
Oh, collectively.
Collectively, like, we need to stop saying that.
This time.
No, because honestly, like, she's not even big. But that's beside the point. Don't we think that Tasha and her sister, like, well, her sister, I'm forgetting her name, don't that they are the voice.
That's not a surprise. We know that they are the vocals of the group. Like that's not like oh my gosh, for real. Like we knew that Tasha always led their biggest hits, and Tamika had a better voice than Candy and Tiny. That's not a surprise. So that's what I'm saying. When you look at like vocals, Escape had more variety, and I think they had stronger vocalists than SWV. That's just my opinion.
They got stronger hits. Got it.
When it comes to hits, but when it comes to
wait for May 8th. Brooke, this just in, it will be in Richmond. Please stop by.
I will.
It's gonna be hilarious.
This is gonna be hilarious.
This is gonna be good.
I mean, I think
it's gonna be.
I can't wait. Before at the end of the day, I think the culture wins.
Exactly. And that's a great way to end this, Brooke. Thank you so much
for you guys. It was fun, and I appreciate it.
And stay tuned because we got to argue your support.
Thank you. Love you.
Bye, Thank you.
All right, y'all. Well, on that note, while we're going back and forth, we might as well get into the Battle of the Browns. And y'all know this is the brown skin version of Who Wore It Better. And I always like to say this is about styling and preference. So, you know, be nice. Now, I think I might be choosing balance today. I ain't gonna lie.
What is going on?
I have a throwback battle of the Browns for y'all. And like, I think this is going to start something. Yeah, no. So, today's Battle of the Browns, we have J-Lo versus Beyonce.
And it's a throwback.
What's up, high school graduation years?
Yes.
When I was designing my prom dresses for me and my friends.
Yes. And forgive me, I looked, but I could not find the designer that they had on. But as always, Jenna, you could go ahead and give us a rundown for the people who may be listening and not watching.
So once upon a time, not long ago, Jennifer Lopez was dating a man named Diddy, and
it was
her swag changed a little bit, and she came out with. In my mind, I don't want to give credit where credit is not due, but in my mind, this looks like a Versace dress. This is very, oh my God, this is so bad for me to say. Like, if y'all can't see it, just think Evelyn Lozada, like, would wear this. It is in one dress. Jennifer Lopez is wearing, they're very like watermark or like watercolor print with a blue, orange, yellow, some dark colors. It's there's a, oh my God, I cannot believe I'm looking at this in 2021.
You wanted to do the throwback.
Oh my God, I did. Jennifer Lopez they're both wearing a dress. Beyonce has it hemmed so that it's more like a midi, which just to give you a history lesson, that was very big that time of year. In that
time period. Extras, Jenna. Come on with the extras. Just describe them.
Jennifer Lopez is wearing it in full length form. It is a halter on Jennifer, but just a regular spaghetti strap on Beyonce. It looks like a unit, like a what is it, a monokini? like the ones that were like it looked like a bikini, but it had the fabric in the middle. It looks like that. Jennifer Lopez is very wispy Miami Beach hair, not a lot of makeup. Beyonce is very Foxy Cleopatra. Oh my God, I can't see Jennifer's shoes, but Beyonce has on some crisscross, looks like sandals. There's a little bracelet. I cannot believe I'm looking at this. I cannot.
Okay, so clearly we have overwhelmed Jenna with this one, but as always, you have to choose.
I can't wait to hear who she chooses.
I can't drink.
No, you didn't.
To drink. What are you doing?
we passed that.
No,
yes,
that segment is over.
Yeah, man, you can tell it. I'm picking Beyonce.
That Jenna, for real. Jenna.
Okay, Jennifer Lopez, the way that she has it, the way she's wearing it, the way that the yellow is more of an accent. Jennifer Lopez wins, but she needs more makeup and her hair is a mess.
Okay. Lily?
I actually like the just woke out of bed messy hair look, obviously. And I like the bare face.
You like freshly effed hair with your thigh gap.
Ooh. I hate for drawing attention to this. I love the bare face. I love the longer look. I love the cut of the dress on J-Lo. So I'm going with J-Lo.
All right, Corey Boone. You know, you always want to know where they at.
That is always the first question.
Because J-Lo got a security guard behind her. So we're all
So both of these women are in the streets. Okay. J-Lo's in Miami. And I'm not sure where Beyonce is, but it's giving me LAT. So we'll go with it. Who you got?
Yeah, it's J-Lo. Because the Foxy Cleopatra, if Beyonce had a different wig, I think I might have gone her way, but it's taking me away. It's blowing me away. J-Lo.
Okay.
What the people say? What our co-hosts saying?
Let's see here. Somebody said we dug into the archives for this one. We did.
She did.
That's about to be 20 years old.
I mean, that's literally like.
Listen, in
like
this
J-Lo's nose is different. Beyonce still looks like Beyonce.
Beyonce here. Okay, Anthony. Yep, she chose violence, right?
She did.
We're getting somebody said they don't feel like J-Lo's.
Thank you, Madison.
Oh, somebody prefers thick Beyonce.
They don't like the young Beyonce.
Oh, that was Dreamgirls Beyonce. That was the maple syrup diet.
Yeah, the lemonade. What is that? The lemonade.
It was lemonade, cayenne pepper, maple syrup, and spring water.
Yeah.
I don't recommend it.
Okay.
Somebody said they're two different dresses.
I think
they are a little different, yeah, but very similar in style. Well, I believe I agree with our co-host. I'm going with Beyonce. It's about, that arch with the back for me and the hair tilted. I'm feeling it.
Okay, that's a problem.
I'm looking forward to hear what our special guest has to say, because I am just this is interesting. This is very interesting.
Yeah, so let me
show you. She walking with Gal. I can't.
I know. That's what
I said. Who said that?
Hey, yo.
Hey, I'm sorry, Dominique.
Yo, what's up, y'all?
Help me.
Hey, y'all are hilarious.
We have Dominique in the building. He does styles and spirits for Richmond. Yes. Wonderful event. And he's really good at picking out the fashionable people in the city. So we want to hear what you think about this J-Lo Beyonce matchup.
All right. Well, one, you definitely chose violence with this. So definitely did that. Two,
the official theme of the show today.
Yeah. Two, I really don't care for the dress on either one of them.
Let's be honest.
Like, honestly, it's just like, ugh. So
okay,
that is how
I don't
like. I can just say, ugh.
Yeah, that's what it gives. What it gives. I didn't like Beyonce's hair with it. I feel like the hair really threw the dress off.
Agreed.
If she would have had like a slick bun or something, or like a messy bun, I would have been like, yes, like this is it. J-Lo does look like she just rolled out of the bed and was like, oh, yeah, we're in Miami, so let me just throw this on and go outside. Like, yeah, but it also does give me that Versace dress that she always wears.
Good point.
Like,
good point.
Yeah, like she always wears that dress, and it's too similar to me for that. So, because it's too similar to the Versace dress, I'm gonna go with Beyonce. Even though,
But when I say it, it's like, come on, Jenna.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who said that?
I'm not sure which way this was
You
going.
said that.
Yeah.
You said that.
Yeah.
Be real with me. Be real with yourself.
Yeah. At least I feel like Beyonce put a little bit of effort into the look with the hair, and like she shortened it. So it's like the shoe, the yellow shoe. I couldn't see J-Lo's shoe though, but I feel like she put some effort into it. I feel like J-Lo's just like, hey,
what's wrong with a little effortless sheet?
No, it's nothing wrong with it, but I also feel like
do that with chiffon.
Yeah, I just feel like
excuse me, get me together.
Yeah, I just feel like I feel like J-Lo could have came way harder than that, because J-Lo is known for her style, so she could have definitely came a little bit harder than that. Yeah. I mean, but I'm also not being there.
Well, thanks so much, Dominique, for joining us today and giving us your perspective. I think it's safe to say that Beyonce won this one.
Yeah, 50-50.
I agree.
I don't know about that.
Okay.
Beyonce won.
I think so too.
Yeah.
All right, later, Dominique.
She won.
Thank you.
I cannot.
Well, y'all know we can't talk about J-Lo without talking about Diddy. So we're at the Somebody Loves You part where we got to do a little coaching over canceling, getting, some of our people together. And as always, Corey has the throwback tune for us that we all love to hear.
My favorite part.
Listen, I was like, wait, what is talking about? What is
not a new one, not a new one. The same throwback song you always.
The same one? Okay.
Yes.
Somebody loves you, baby. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Somebody loves you, baby. And you know who it is. Somebody loves you, baby. All right.
I love how he always be ready to do a second verse, but then he pull it back. I love it. Okay.
Well, guys, so Diddy is here because y'all probably recently saw that he had a letter to corporate America about needing to pay. Is it us, Black people?
What is their address? What is corporate America's address?
But here's the thing. Somebody said that Diddy is corporate America. So, I think, and I'll say this, for those of y'all know me, I love Diddy. I love Bad Boy. Yes. But we all know that it never works out. Like it just does not work out. And I feel like Corey is our political commentator. You can give us your thoughts and opinions, but that's where I'm at. I'm like, I just want Diddy to take care, be the change you want to see. Yeah. Take care of these artists and do that. And then we can talk about the other corporate America.
Well, I want to clear something up first because apparently I am starting to feel my drink and my eyes are closed. So
Corey, I didn't want to say nothing, but they've been in the comments. Is that Hennessy? Is Corey drunk? Corey is drunk. I didn't want to say nothing, but since you brought it up.
Let me say this for sure. It's been a long week, so I don't know. It might be the tiredness, the exhaustion that I have from the week. It may not be these drinks that I'm drinking. However, I guess the question that I would have for Diddy is, please name an artist you have not raped out of their actual full finances they deserve.
Locks. I think Rough Riders evened the score for him with the locks.
Okay, one artist. Give me another. give me another name, please, because
I'm just being messy.
You don't work with all these different artists, right? I mean, a plethora of artists. 112, Faith Evans, Lil' Kim. I mean, I think this question was she was on Bad Boy or not. Biggie. I mean, all these different artists.
Mace.
That is the one.
Danity Kane.
Danity, like all
the band.
People. Yeah.
26.
Oh,
that sounds like we uplifting people in prayer. Like
we haven't started a prayer list this episode. Y'all know I like to keep running the prayer list.
Well, add all the Bad Boy artists to the list.
Bad Boy artists.
It is truly something else. And listen, Black Rob, Black Rob.
Raina said even other people, other staff.
No, and it's funny. Me and Henry were just talking about this, but a lot of like, if you talk about people who worked for a Bad Boy, they always talk about how they were always overworked, on call all the time, and they did not feel appreciated, and they had to leave. And I feel like this mirrors corporate America.
There it is. That's
so sad.
I think the man is very successful.
Oh,
I think that there's
the juniors, Jay. All the juniors in Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Chad, let's be clear. If you're from New York, walking is not that big of a deal.
Right.
But saying that I work for Diddy and I gotta walk a whole borough to get a slice of cheesecake, that's a problem. Like you can't do both.
Though y'all know I like to play devil's advocate. Do we think that Diddy Puff, I like to call him Puff, do we think that Puff is redeeming himself with Revolt and giving opportunities to up and comings and giving platforms to Black and brown folks to do shows? And I'm just wondering, do we think that maybe Puff is redeeming himself from the Bad Boy days with Revolt and doing things differently?
I think Revolt is a great thing. I really do.
That's why I'm asking.
Yeah. But one of the co-hosts said that they weren't getting paid either. I put that up. Yeah. So, Nelson, you can go ahead and chime in on that. I don't know. But I will say I think that Revolt is a great platform.
For me, it is the hypocrisy, right? So, like, how dare you try to call out corporations for not doing well by Black people, Black artists, Black workers? How dare you, Diddy? How dare you? Especially when you basically somebody had made the comment that said Diddy is only rich because he stole from all these artists. I don't know how true that is, but I would love for somebody to run the numbers. How many?
Raven? Where you at, girl?
Where you at, Raven? But it is just amazing. It's actually like hilarious to me that he actually took the time to do this, write this letter and send it out, and not actually in the back of his mind think like, oh, I actually done some of this trash ass shit that these corporations have done. But I'm going to call them out in 2020 because I feel like I'm going to be on the high road or something. It's like, what are we doing right now? Yeah, it's no. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I think that's all. We just want to see better. Are you, Jenna? You were gonna say something?
You're fine. Go on.
Well, I was just saying, I think first we just need to see like Diddy be better by his artists. Like Mace had a very public battle with him about his music, so that's the main thing. But yeah, Diddy, if you do want us on Revolt. You can find us on Instagram as Somebody Said TV, and yeah, our manager can figure that out.
Make sure the coins is right, Corey. Make sure
the coins are correct.
We need multiple lawyers.
That was going to be my point. Because I don't think he does anything without himself being covered. So if these young people and these artists thought Diddy's going to take care of me and they just signed that dotted line and didn't read that fine print, what he put in there might have been shady, but you still have a choice whether or not you sign.
Right.
And I'm not going to say that that's okay, but I do think that this is a teachable moment. This is a learning experience that you have to read the fine print. You cannot enter into an opportunity and think that somebody's going to do right by you based on anything. Honestly, like it doesn't work like that. So if Diddy, I hate to say it, but if Diddy was smart enough to say I can do what I want and you just gonna take it in a contract and I'm just like, okay, and sign, that's on me.
But Jenna, I will add to that. So what's the name of the only singer on Day 26? Not Day 26, the other group, the rap.
The singer.
Sarah. Is it Sarah?
Sarah
I think it was Sarah.
On the band.
Yes. Apparently she wanted to actually get another lawyer to look at the contract, and Diddy and his people like dogged her out for actually saying
they did, and she should have still went. She should have listened to her husband and still went. That would have been a red flag for me, just to be like, oh, I'm definitely going, and I will. You can give me 48 hours. Is there a timeline on here that says I need to sign it within 5 minutes of you putting it in my face? No, okay, I'll get with you in 48 hours.
But then, I guess I will ask the question: then do people feel, because what they have over your head is this is an opportunity that you won't get from anywhere else, right? This is great to be able to make it. So and I agree with you, Jenna. Like, if I'm in a situation, I'm just going to back up. If it doesn't sound good to me, if it doesn't sound right, I'm just not going to do it. But for these artists, and this is their life, and this is what they want to do, and they feel like this is the only way for them to get out of it. I guess my point is, it is a responsibility, but I have a feel on how they may have gotten to that point.
Well, I mean, the whole, like, I call it hazing, like the puff hazing. And all of that, I don't agree with. I think that these are people that bring talent, they bring potential, they bring money to you, belittling them and doing things that, you know, you wouldn't do, or, you know, you could say that you would have did this when you were 16 and knew that you just wanted to make it. You would have sprinted from Manhattan to Brooklyn. That's cool. Right. You can say that, but you didn't. Like, so I get that whole part of playing on people's desperations and things like that. But at the end of the day, you are still an able-bodied person. You know that you have a value. You know that you have talent. You know that you have something to give to this world. Just because it ain't Diddy doesn't mean somebody else isn't going to see it.
Yeah.
I've had plenty of people be like, oh my God, like, what is she doing? Like, she's trying too hard and she thinks she's this. And who is that? Like, who does she think she is? I don't really care what you think I am. Like, it's not going to stop me. It is not going to dim my light anymore. It's not going to do anything to make me less important or less significant or less blessed. Like, I get, like, I can understand that you feel uncomfortable, but I feel like you feel uncomfortable when you feel like you're contractually obligated. And then you start to experience these things and you're like, why are you doing this to me? Because I can, because you signed and said I could.
You bring up such a really good point. Anytime you're doing anything with contracts, you ought to have the strength to be able to walk away from it. Go into it knowing that you have the strength and the background, the gifts, the talents, the blessings, the privilege, whatever, to be able to walk away. I mean, that's such a good point.
Blackball by who?
The industry. That's real. No, that's a real thing. That is a real.
But the thing of it is like, you can, Diddy throws people away left and right. If you didn't handle yourself right and you're contractually obligated to still deal with him, or you can't go somewhere else because of what you signed, that's not him. That's not you being blackballed. That's you being obligated to something that you voluntarily signed.
No,
you're not being blackballed.
No, but he's saying if you deny it, like you decide not to sign, then being blackballed. That is a real.
Not nobody else.
Somebody will take you
down or lay down.
Yeah,
somebody take you.
But a lot of artists have talked about that. Like we talked about Jaguar, right? Like a lot of artists have talked about them going against the grain or them denying certain contracts and then them being blackballed, period, like within the industry. So, but
are they being blackballed because they decided not to sign a contract or because they were honest about their experience?
No, because they didn't sign a contract. Jaguar, right, and her honesty is 20 years later. Like, you know what I mean? So at this point in the environment that we're in, this is the kind of platform that he has. But, and it's not just Diddy, it's Jay-Z. Like multiple artists have come out and said that they have decided not to sign certain contracts, not to go into certain deals, and they've been blackballed in the industry.
You said Jay-Z said that?
We got to move on, but I
don't think Jay-Z's doing that bad.
No, Jay-Z's not blackballed. Other artists have said that he's blackballed them.
Oh, yeah.
There's no way that Jay-Z is blackballed.
That's it. I don't think he lost.
No, not at all. But somebody said maybe he's trying to turn over a new leaf. And I did want to come back to the Revolt thing, because when we see Revolt, it really looks like, it's a great platform for people like us, for people who look like us. And one of our co-hosts, they said that they wanted to chime in and explain the whole thing with Revolt and what was going on.
And then Nelson, we got Nelson back in. Bring him back in. Brooklyn in the building. What's good?
Hello, are we having technical difficulties?
Oh, please say no.
I think we are.
Uh-oh. No.
All right.
Eddie, help your dad.
Yes. Sorry, you gonna have to tell us later.
Jay also blackballed Christian. Hank, I agree with you.
Wow.
He took their sound and threw them in the trash.
Wow. It's a no for me.
Yeah.
We're gonna put Puff on a prayer list, because I still got a special place in my heart for Puff.
Absolutely. Again, as we always say, coaching over canceling. And we don't like to end on a bad note here. So we're gonna go ahead and get to the Are You That Somebody? This is where we like to recognize dope people doing dope things. And our special guest is oh, here we are.
Okay.
We have our Are You That Somebody here with us today.
Pippi, what is going on?
Hey.
Hi, beautiful.
I'm good. How are y'all?
Good. Oh, so quick note. I was rushing to get ready today. I literally done a lot of things in 30 minutes. And so I was trying to get Pip to get on the show and all that good stuff. And I felt so bad that I didn't get a chance to see you and say that you look so beautiful. So I wanted to say that first. And then secondly, Pip is my BFF. Love her so much. Oh my God. The second day I was actually in college at VCU, I met Pippi and some other people. And ever since then, this woman has had my heart. I love you. I love you. I love you so much. Pippi is an amazing person, has a title for so many things. She's a mother, she's a therapist, she is a teacher, she is a business owner. She is a lot of great things, but specifically tonight, we want to talk about the amazing things that she's doing on YouTube and the Pink Room Review. So I'll let you take it away.
Well, first off, Corey, I want to say the feeling is mutual. I love you so much. And thank you guys for having me. So the Pink Room Review is a platform in which I use for online shoppers. So we're shopping online. We're seeing all of these pretty women and nice looking men all on our timeline with these nice clothing on or whatever. And you don't know these stores. These are not stores that you can walk into. You can't try this stuff on. You just take a gamble, put the stuff in your cart and pray that you get what is being displayed. So where I come in is I order from all of these different stores online. I try them on in the Pink Room. I bring on different models so you can see different sizes. So everything isn't just on me. I tell you about prices. I tell you about discounts. I get really in depth with the clothing itself, the fabric. I tell you about, how much spandex you may need or what's required. If, I tell you about sizing. I get into European sizing and everything. So it's a full in-depth review. So we can save money because we're just gambling our money and just, like I said, praying that we get what's being displayed.
Right.
Well, Pippi, I wanted to say, to your point, like all these different ads keep coming up, and I remember there's this one ad that I kept seeing with there's this model that has on 3 different pairs of jeans, and I can't remember what the site was, but I noticed you did a review on them, and it comes up about buying jeans from this particular company. They're in all these different colors, but you tried them on, gave us the 411 about them being affordable and actually stretchy. So really good YouTube, especially like if you're seeing all of these different ads. I feel like Pippi did them in the Pink Room review.
Yes.
Why have I not heard about this?
I'm here for it, Pippi, because I am
annoyed and it leads to y'all.
Listen, I had no idea. I am petrified of online shopping. I'm trying to get more into it, but I had this concern about like, yeah, it looks great on the person that's displaying it on his site. Pippi, I'm here for it. I love it. We need to see our people, different sizes, reviewing this, not just the 3 or 4 stars with a little description. I need to see your folks in it to make me feel comfortable doing this online shopping. I love it.
This is
such a great idea.
I love it.
Can somebody say TV come to the Pink Room?
Come to the Pink Room. Come to the Pink Room. I've been in there tonight and kind of, did the show tonight, in the Pink Room, but it's a little late for me. I can't be out there. It's dark.
Prime time.
Prime time.
I love it.
Well, we won't hold you up, but tell everybody how they can find you and what platforms you're on.
Okay, well, I'm just on YouTube for now, and it's just search the Pink Room Review. Or if you just Google one of those stores that you're inquiring about, like if you Google Swankaposh or Shein.com or Fashion Nova, all them reviews, you put review on the end, I'm gonna pop up, baby.
I hesitate on these sites because that's why. Because I'm like, that's not gonna fit me the way. It's not gonna look like that on me.
Exactly.
And I'd be like, I'm not even shopping there because I already know.
Some memes in them just to be like, what you order versus what you got.
Yeah, I'm gonna be so poor.
Right.
Okay.
So one thing I say before I end the show in the Pink Room, I say before you buy online, think pink. So whenever you go online, before you hit that send button or buy, think pink.
All right. Thanks, Pippi. Love you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for coming.
Love you. So good to see you. Thank you for joining us.
Appreciate you.
Oh my gosh, that was cool. I had no Corey Boone. We have to talk after this. I'm upset.
I know about that right now. I know. Y'all, this week
holding out on this. Holding out.
I know.
You got me buying them and only using websites for free returns. When all along, I could have just been tuning into Pippi and everything would have been fine.
I just started following her page. Get me together, Pink. I need my spring and my summer wardrobe. Get me together.
You know she got a thigh gap.
I don't let this go. I'm done. I hate Craig.
All right, y'all. Well, we are at the end of another episode of Somebody Said TV, which just happens to be our season finale. But, we told y'all we plan on popping in here and there. So we're definitely going to do the verses on Saturday, May 8th. And we're really excited about it because all of us are going to be in the same room. 3 out of 4 are vaccinated and ready to hit the street. Okay.
Yes.
So
you'll be in the house all the time, so don't worry about it. I'm fine.
So you'll get to see us together and get to see that dynamic. So please be sure to join us on May 8th, right after the verses. We're going to do it just like we did the Monica and Brandy. So we'll be waiting on them and hopefully,
but less violence.
Less
violence.
We don't know, honestly. We really don't know.
We never know.
Yes. So everybody is invited to join us that night. We would love to see y'all and kind of make that. That was a really big moment for Somebody Said TV. We had our highest views, and we're excited about trying this again. So
and I'm hosting. So I'm
going to be at the Queen's house.
Tricks, like I have all the things. And I have like reservations at Cinco de Mayo. It's like my holiday. Like Kathia and Shalina make it a point to come down because they trust me and we have a good time. So the pressure's on, and I'm gonna deliver. So it's gonna be a good time.
Always.
So excited.
All right, y'all. Well, I did want to give a special shout out to our girl Rashida. She was supposed to join us today, but unfortunately, she had a family emergency. But we want you to know that we love you. We appreciate your support, and we're praying for you and your family.
Yes.
And any other final thoughts, co-host, before we're out of here?
I was talking to someone, I can't remember who, and it was like, man, y'all are finishing already. I said, yeah, you know, when we met at the beginning of the year and chose our end date, we were strategic, and, you know, we all have busy schedules of squeezing this in. And I just feel like, man, I wish we had more time. Like, I wish we would have kind of planned to end a little later. It's like in the beginning, it was like, we don't got a lot of time. Like, that's a good end point. But I'm actually sad that we're wrapping up so soon, but we'll be back. So
we will be.
It is what it is, and I just appreciate the love and support, and love spending my Thursday evenings with y'all, and can't wait to kick off season 2.
Yeah.
I think it's too soon that we got renewed for season 2. Did you know that?
Yes, maybe Revolt will pick us up.
Maybe Revolt will pick us up.
I will say this, Henry, I am officially feeling my drink now. So it is official.
He is drunk now, Hank. He is drunk now.
So somebody said season 2 will start like August, September. That's what we do. And shout out to my sister Jay, because she was supposed to join her husband and daughter. But you know, she was getting it right and tight for the summer. We got a lot of things planned.
We love you, Jay.
A whole bottle of wine while you was doing what you were supposed to do. So
yes, we love you.
Worked out for me.
Yes, and please know this will happen again. We'll be able to get some co-hosts live and in color on stage.
Yeah, y'all were great.
This was amazing. Thank you to all our co-hosts. Like, if you didn't make it, like, if you didn't feel comfortable or you just, you know, tuned in and commented, like, every time the support is so overwhelming. But our co-hosts that decide that we're okay with coming on with us tonight, it was amazing. So thank you. And Brooke, girl, that research.
I'm on research.
I have a whole nother bottle. Just come over.
We know.
I do want to do
that sounds very judgy.
Never.
We know.
I'm not judging it established. I'm not at all.
Lily, I don't even feel like we are on like Jenna and Corey's level right now.
We're not.
Listen,
Okay.
I'm feeling great. This doesn't go on forever.
For the finale, but I know now. I didn't know this
is the finale. It's no holds. Like, I'm not even pressed. Like, it's amazing. Like, we did this on a whim out of nowhere. We have so much support and love. It's been so fun. Like, it's been easy. I
want you to highlight
get together.
We've got an investor for seasons 2 and 3. We've got an investor.
Thank you, because I don't want to do graphics again.
We're getting new graphics, y'all. We're getting new graphics. Season 2.
Yes, we are. We are definitely working on that. If that's something that you're good at, holla at us. I do want to give a special shout out to my husband / girl dad, because a lot goes into these things for me to do this every Thursday with a 4-year-old, and he holds it down and they watch, and it's so cute. My daughter thinks he's part of somebody's TV.
She does.
She is. She is. Yes, thank you. My husband does the same thing. I don't even think they care because they're probably playing Madden downstairs. My baby's a little bit older, so yes, thank you for saying that. Yes, thank y'all.
Can we get to these lies in the comments that I've been drinking since 1 p.m.?
The lies. The meme of Candy verse. The lies.
Corey, you've been drinking since 1 p.m. I'm here.
That's it, and that's how rumors start.
Well, you held out on Pippi, so I don't like your credibility is shot right now.
I know.
All right, y'all. Anything else?
I'm good. Y'all. Let's wrap this up. Let's call it out. Let's
finish this bottle.
All right. Yeah. Well, y'all know this is not goodbye. See y'all later. Season 2 again. Y'all can expect that around August or September, and we could go ahead and end it like we did the first time when we thought we were on the season finale, and let's just go full on with the Hot Boy.
Hey,
yes,
why not?
Yes. Oh, come on, Apple, not me too. Okay.
Oh,
refilling.
It's been a week.
We love y'all. Thank you so much.
We do.
Maybe we'll go live.
We like the Brady Bunch. I was in a scout, now I'm up, so it's time for lunch. Never gave a fuck, this shit bang like you gotta invite Hot Boy to the show so he can perform.
Yeah.
Let the people know some shit. You press bitches and my mentions always fucking hating.
What are you drinking exactly?
Oh. I'm a dire star for me.
I thought it was Parker Lit.
Money talking, conversation. Niggas watching money plotting, that's my motivation. All these bitches on my line. Stars on my shoes, couldn't walk in these bases.
I'm just trying to be a star. I'm just trying to bad life.
Go clean it if you don't like it.
I'm just trying to do it for the niggas on my team. I'm trying to do this shit and get it by any means. So for my old bitch, I ain't feeling you.
Hey.
They set up things blue and I ain't down with niggas.